opposed to limp arm, I'm finding this. So when I go for the arm drag, I don't want my hand on the inside. Alright? See the way my hand's on the inside, so when I switch to the arm drag, it's kind of difficult to stuff this to the hip. See the way my hand's coming from the inside? I always want it to the outside. So you need to rent out the Karate Kid 1986, the first version. It's that like wax on, wax off movement. So my hand was in here, I just have to swing it around like this. So again, Car's not going to stay there, and when he postures up, I'm immediately stuffing this to the hip, and then I have this arm drag. Again, with the gi, I've seen this a lot, whereby they get the arm drag and they'll post this hand, and then they'll use their hand to move their hip, which is fine, because you've the friction of the gi. No gi game is a little different. I really don't like that. When I get this wrist control, I like to keep it, okay? Because sometimes if I let go to do that instead of you're doing crazy jiu-jitsu, let's do basic jiu-jitsu. So from there, the second I post that I don't control Car's wrist, if he brings his hand to this side as I arm drag him, I'm pulling him into the half guard, and he's already got the underhook, which is bad news for me. So I think a better version is keeping wrist control. So once I do this power grip and I come down, I have this control here and I'm pushing this in. This gives me a massive lever, especially in no gi. Like I said, it's very hard when you're dripping with sweat and you try to arm drag someone and your hand just comes like this every single time. So if I make wrist control and I stick it in his hip, there's a loop here, and this is a very good control method here, pulling him, and then I'm here. Okay. So last time we looked at the snapdown, which is the other version of, or the other thing I should be going for. We snap down into the arm and guillotine. We're going to do a seated version of this time. So like we talked about in week 1, we played this butterfly guard game. If Car has my hips pinned, he's looking to pass and he's being aggressive. But sometimes what happens is he'll back up and sit up. If he does, I'm sitting up with him and I'm controlling that inside space. Now I have to be careful. These things he can do, I have things I can do. And again, he might then get to his feet from here, and we'll look at that in future classes as well. But basically, it's just like the clinch game. Okay, from your feet, I want to be controlling the inside space from here. What I want is my arms inside his. Ideally, I want arm control and head control. And like the snap down, like we looked at last time, was just snapping the head down and getting my arm in guillotine. Okay, and then from there, from that position, I'm bringing my elbow to my body, the leg comes over, and I can finish from there. If I can't get that, I'll put my hook in and hit him with a sweep and come up on top. Okay, but it's a little bit hard to get that, especially from the sit-up guards, especially if he's big as well. So from butterfly guard, Car backs up, maybe we're in this seated position. I'm looking the inside control. I really don't want to be getting this and this, because the second I get this to snap him down, he's going to remove that. It just becomes a battle of snapping the head down all the time. So ideally my left hand's just going to grab anywhere from the elbow to the armpit. So I have this controlling the space. This hand can do this, can look for the same. But from this position, before I snap the head down, I'm just going to take out my butterfly hook and I put it on the outside of his knee here. And in one movement, my hand switches from here to here. I kick out his knee as I snap down his head to this position. Okay? So now I've got my arm in guillotine and I can just finish like I did last week. If I want to finish with that submission, I need to make sure that my right wrist, the sharp out of it, is right in his left jugular. And I'm pulling that in like this. I bring my elbow to my body. Again, I need to make sure Car doesn't hop to the other side. Hop, I'll shoot you, Car. Oh, now you want to stay here. Okay, so to stop that, my leg come over the back. If I was here, my leg come over the back here. We'll stop that hop over. Sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. Like I said, when I snapped them down and I got this, there's nothing failed from here. If I don't get it, I'll just put my foot back in and then I have the butterfly guard sweep, which we looked at in week 1. Because his head's down, I don't need to control that. I'm going to kick him all the way over. We showed you how to finish from the darce from there. But let's just say from this position, as I go to mount, and I'm trying to finish with the mounted arm and guillotine, Carl just goes for a massive bridge, take me over, so I might have to base with my hands. I'll let go of the submission, calm him down a little bit, I'll put in my hooks, my grapevines, so I just curl my toes up, so his heels back, toes up. I know a lot of people do this and they'll actually stretch you out like this type of thing. it's uncomfortable, but if Carl just kicks his leg, boom, it's away. So if you are going for that grapevine control, I don't like wrapping again at the shins. I'll just widen my knees. I bring my heels back, point my toes up. I'm in that position if Carl straightens his legs to try and kick out. I've still got my grapevines. So let's look at finishing from here. I get cross face, and I'm going to drive my shoulder into his face to make him look the other way. Hand comes underneath. Start walking it forward. A lot of people will look for the arm triangle here. So they'll weave their head to this position. If I am finishing the arm triangle, we touched on this in the summer. I have a right hand grip under his armpit. I need to make sure that my bicep is tight to his left jugular. Okay? I get hand to hand. I can try and finish somewhere, but I'll do my best work coming here. Okay? My shoulder is behind his shoulder. I just walk on my hips. And then again. So, from butterfly guard. This time we're in seated butterfly guard, trying to control the inside space. Carl wants to have wrist control. I'll be doing the same. I want this. Okay? But again, I want to stop or try to not snap down straight away because he just removed that with his hand or by rolling his head. So I'll just keep it here. And when the moment's right, my foot goes there, I snap straight down into my snap down here. Getting that in the right position, here and here. Okay? From there, if I decide to go for the sweep, as I come to mount, Carl's going buck mad, I have a base. Hooks come in. Flatten them out a little bit. With my cross face. And I'll drive my shoulder into his face. Okay? Left hand comes underneath. Walk, 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 walk. Again, a lot of people walk it to here and then try to leave their hand around. I usually like to bring it as far as it goes. I can't take it any further. There's also a wrist lock here. So I can use this shoulder to feed this to my hand. I grab the knuckles, the ones he knocks with, so my fist covers his. Once you get that grip, I put my hand on the mat, and then I use my shoulder as I pull this back. Yeah? You get it? Even if I don't get it, sometimes what happens is, I'm bending back this way, Carl will bring his wrist the other way, and I have the other one. And even if I don't get it, I'm back to the head and arm. So it's a low risk, I'm still in the mount. So if I'm finishing with the arm triangle again, you keep the grip. When you drill this, try to finish with one hand, because it's all about the snugness. I want my bicep, my right bicep, tight to his left jugular. I drop my head, so my collarbone is behind his tricep. And I move from the mount, and just walking, finishing with one hand. So then when I use two, everything's super tight, okay? One more time on that. Controlling that inside space, so I want this. Again, Carl will be removing that grip, so I'll just keep it here. Foot comes to the outside, okay? When the moment's right, one movement, not the neck, head, bosh, arm and guillotine. And try to go for it, I'll just sweep him. As I take him to mark, hooks in, grapevines. But not in double, at his shins, like that. This white belt stuff. Heels back, alright, hooks in, heels towards my butt, toes pointing up, okay? And from there, I win the cross face, and I drive this into his face. Look for the underhook. Walking my hand, I walk it as far as I can. So I've actually got my arms as far as they can. Arm triangles there if I want, but if I want to try for that wrist lock, which is low risk, I walk this as far as I can. I can use my shoulder to feed this to my hand. So I just grab the outside of his knuckles like this. So my hand covers his knuckles, put my hand on the mat, and then I'll use my shoulder to drive in. If he bends it the other way, I'll just go the other way. And if I don't have it, nothing lost. Arm triangle. Snugness is in. Collarbone behind his shoulder. And just walk. Turn the corner. Okay, let's go, guys.